Hello, I want to congratulate you because Bitcoin is 11 years old. On the 23rd of October 2008, a person or group of people under pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto published a white paper of Bitcoin, the first peer-to-peer payment system in history. Thus began the history of a radically new form of money. And right now it is not known whether the real Satoshi Nakamoto will ever be known to the community, but it is known for sure that Bitcoin works regardless of whether this happens or not. Who was this man and why did he disappear and what was his motives? If you want a video on this theme, please comment below this video. And let's go to the chart. Right now buyers managed to show a good bounce up, and right now price tested the support level several times at $9,000. So to continue the rise by the buyer, it's important to push prices even higher. And in general, cryptocurrency markets look ready for the start of a new wave of recovery. Bulls can only hold the current levels and the rise a little higher to deprive the bears and of all chances to continue the downward correction. And there were several interesting news during this week. The Back cryptocurrency platform has announced the launch of an application with which consumers can pay at retail outlets, including the popular Starbucks. A statement from Back product director confirmed that the application will launch in the first half of 2020, with Starbucks becoming the first connected partner. We will be launching a consumer app to make it easy for consumers to discover and unlock the values of digital assets, as well as ways in which they can transact or track them. Also, he made it clear that the application may not be limited to just Bitcoin. The other news were from China, because China began to prepare a regulatory framework for the introduction of national cryptocurrency. The Standing Committee of All China Assembly of People Representatives adopted the first law in the history of the country regulating cryptography. It comes into force on the 1st of January 2020. New regulations establish cryptographic standards and determine how encryption tools are used. This is the first law directly related to cryptography, key management and hashing algorithms. Despite the fact that the law doesn't explicitly mention decentralized and state cryptocurrencies, it can be widely used in all areas related to encryption, from mining to distribution of tokens. Experts believe that the adoption of the law on cryptography is a prerequisite for the early launch of the Central Bank of China's own digital currency. And about this China digital currency, Huang Qifan said that the People's Bank of China has been exploring the possibility of issuing its own digital currency for several years, and it will be the first bank to introduce it to the world ahead of Libra project. So, right now, arguments of Mark Zuckerberg is quite relative. And the last news but not least is about Ethereum. So, not long ago the date of Istanbul hard fork was announced, and right now we have this date, and we have also additional date if something is going wrong. Also, not long ago Binance published another report with a trend analysis of the crypto industry. The exchange expert agreed that the upcoming switch of Ethereum to proof of stake would seriously affect all other cryptocurrencies. Analysts also reviewed the 10 most significant projects that make it possible to earn on staking. So, firstly, Binance defines staking and then compare these 10 most valuable projects. I have to recall that the profitability of Ethereum after switching to PoS may fluctuate depending on the total amount of Ethereum in the network stakes. Experts also mentioned the potential risk of staking compared to active cryptocurrency trading. Beginners who want to earn money on passive source of income should take into account the position of the project on the market and its prospects for the period of staking coins. In other words, a cryptocurrency may fall in price and then the validator will be in the red. The main thing for Ethereum and for the industry is that with staking, existing players in the crypto ecosystem and blockchain projects have aligned incentives continuing symbiotic growth. As more infrastructure players support staking, the entire ecosystem will be able to match you. And now let's get over to financial market, because right now S&P 500 closed at a record high after Fed rate cut. And on the contrary, some well-known companies have problems. For example, Twitter. Twitter will refuse political advertising. The social network will publish the new rules on the 15th of November. The company believes that the coverage of a political message should be earned by retweets and subscription to the account, not purchased. Misleading advertising messages can affect the lives of millions of people. So this position belonged to Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, who's struggling publicly, trying, not for the first time, to pose as the complete opposite of Mark Zuckerberg, including in relation to cryptocurrency, where he supports only Bitcoin and is an opponent of cooperative cryptocurrencies. And from financial point of view, these are losses for the future, but not now. Nevertheless, it seems that people will panic and open up into minus. And because of that, Twitter stocks will continue to sink, and we can see that it has been sinking from the start of September. Another interesting news that Alphabet releases a third quarter report that frustrated analysts. However, the revenue indicator exceeded forecasts. So Alphabet, the parent company of Google, published a financial report. According to the result of this report and of the third quarter, the net profit fell to $7 billion, which is equal to the difference of 23% from the results of the previous reporting period. The fact is that Alphabet is investing heavily in cloud technology and artificial intelligence. In the third quarter alone, the company invested $6.7 billion, and for Alphabet, such amount of investments are commonplace. According to the company's calculations, everything will pay off in the future. This business area will occupy key places in the company's revenues. After opening of the markets, their price fell down by 3%, but by the end of the day, it won back some positions. Apparently, investors drew attention to the positive financial results in the business areas, not just to reduce profits. And once again about cloud technologies, and right now about Microsoft, because Microsoft is ahead of Amazon in getting $10 billion cloud computing contract from the Pentagon. So Microsoft Azure will come receive a $10 billion contract from the US Department of Defense. The price seems huge, but do not forget that this is a contract for 10 years. And they overtook Amazon, which refused to lower the cost of the service. In short, this is a great image victory, but there will be no special money in this deal. So I want to congratulate you with 11th birthday of Bitcoin. And that's all for today. If you have any question, feel free to comment below this video. Goodbye.